Hey there, everyone. So I'm back on the trail. However, I'm not in a quote-unquote foreign country. I'm here in the United States of America. And if you take a look at the guy behind me over my shoulder who doesn't know that he's being filmed, note that he's eating something that I would consider to be the only redeeming quality that exists here in the theme parks of America, which is this sucker. This is the smoked turkey leg, which appeared on the scene just about maybe 5 or 10 years ago, and you really can only find this at state fairs and theme parks. Back to the topic at hand. Oh! That's one good way to screw up your laptop. Oh my God. Well, anyway, we'll get to that grease cleanup a little later. But as far as these things go, the thing that I love about them is, first of all, the fact that you can hold it, and it's kind of socially acceptable to be doing this because other people are. So that in and of itself I find of great value. Now, in addition to that, what I find valuable about these is the fact they're smoked, which is a nice little twist. So you get that like smoky flavor with a little bit of sweetness. Now, why don't I take a little taste? Let me report to you on this particular theme park's quality, because I have found it to vary. Wait a minute. Before I dive in, let me just mention to you that I do find that strategically there are different ways to eat these things. Now, you can go in for the big bite. Of course, that's quite messy, but enjoyable in and of itself. Of course, you could use the finger-picking method where you take a little piece off and nibble on it. And then finally, there's the sit-down with a fork and a knife, which really isn't the whole point of this, is it? Now, then there's the issue of where you actually bite. Do you start eating at the meatiest area here, which is the easiest area to get into, where there's really just all meat, no gristle, none of that weird stuff? Or do you actually start a little bit lower down? Now, what's nice about the lower down area is the meat tends to be a little drier, and if you're kind of a jerky kind of a person, you would appreciate that dryness. I guess this is really mood dependent, and tonight I'm in the mood for some real juicy meat. So why don't I go ahead and I'll let you know what I think here. Very nice. Really nice. Could use a little seasoning, a little salt, but overall, a very nice flavor. So, the next time you find yourself in a theme park, you find yourself feeling a little bit down, don't want to eat all that fried food and want to go for something a little bit healthier, look at that fat hanging down there, I really suggest you pick up the $7.49 smoked turkey leg. I think you'll find it to be a delightful experience in a somewhat disturbing environment. All right, ciao for now. See you back on the road somewhere else with food in hand. So there's a couple of areas of the turkey leg that are worth noting, because this is an experience that really, it's kind of like eating 4 different products. You've got the big meaty end over here where it's really all just pure meat. As I mentioned earlier, you got the area down a little lower, a little more smoky, a little drier. You also have this little piece right over here. I don't know if you can get a good view of that. It's kind of a little hunk of meat right there. I found this to be actually the best piece on the entire turkey. All meat and not as fatty. I'm not exactly sure why. It could be something to do with the fact that it sits on the joint and isn't covered in fat, but I really don't know. But anyway, here's to the turkey leg. A wonderful, wonderful addition to the American theme park experience. I was talking to you about the seasoning, and yeah, it is a problem. There needs to be a little salt. Now, they actually do have some salt, which I have right here. Now, my method of salting meat when I'm feeling barbaric, such as I am now, and all greasy and messy, is to just actually take the salt and kind of rub it in and get it all kind of nice and in there, and it really kind of, it adds to the whole experience. See if it adds to the flavor. Big improvement over a good product as it is. Now, I'm starting to get to that part of the meat where there's a lot more fat built in, and I tend to find this not to be the most enjoyable experience, so I tend to like fat in general. And you also find yourself sometimes into this little zone, but it's important. Well, actually, maybe it's not important, but it's important to me. You start to find yourself into this area where there are all these weird ligaments and stuff. And actually, pulling these off and sucking the juice off them can be really, really enjoyable. Even if there's no meat on them. Excuse me. So if you're like me, and you don't get to have these very often because you don't come to a lot of theme parks, you really do want to have every little last piece out of this. Now, that even means going into these areas that are somewhat questionable, but hey, so be it. One thing I did mention is how this is a healthier alternative, especially if you're responsible and remove the large piece of not very crispy, disgusting skin, which is kind of a shame. Couldn't you imagine if this was crispy and yummy? Oh my God, that would take this experience somewhat over the top. And finally, one moment. Finally, this experience would not be complete without the obligatory toothpick. Of course, wrapped in plastic. We are in America. And so, critical aspect following this is to partake in this if you're going to relate to anyone at all, or if you just don't like that feeling. Well, ciao again. I hope to see you again down there on the road, and let's enjoy some more food together. See ya.